Alrighty, let's go. Welcome back into the trade room for your round 6 preview, guys. Proving to be a pretty tricky week, I want to say. There's a lot of sort of decent sort of trading options that we're looking at this week. Few injuries. Obviously, you've got Reece Walsh. We've got, other injuries lurking about. Trey Mooney's an issue. Keanu Keeney, Stephen Crichton's an issue. Jonah Pezzett, Daniel Atkinson. There's a lot of potential trade outs in the team. So that opens up a whole range of people to actually trade in. So for me, I've got literally a whole list. I've got such a big big array of issues in my team at the moment, including Reece Walsh, Stephen Crichton, Jonah Pezzett, Keanu Keeney, Trey Mooney, Dan Atkinson, Keanu Kolomotangi battling an injury as well, Reid Marnie. The list goes on and on and on at the moment. I'm in pain. I'm in Spain without the S. I'm in a world of hurt. It's just finding out what to do, finding the right things to do. And I'm confident on 2 trades. I don't know where I'm going with my 3rd trade at the moment. But before we get into it, make sure you give us obviously a big like down the bottom and comment who you're looking at trading in this week. Are you boosting? I'd say most people will be ripping a boost this week. I've only ripped 1 boost so far this season. I've been very conservative with trades, which has definitely helped me. Well, which will help me this week in the long run because my rank does not show that being conservative has helped. But in the trade room, of course, the preview, got to look at the top 10 trade-in players, top 10 trade-out players, and then get into our captains, the top 10 captaincies for the week. And then we're going to look at the top 5 options and look at their data on Rugby League Fantasy Pro to give you the best insight into captaincies for this week. Let's get into it, shall we? The top 10 traded-in players for Supercoach in round 6. Topping off the list is Tommy Turbo, 727k. Only made a price change of $400 last week, but that doesn't matter because he's 6.4% trade in with a break even at 88. Looking pretty darn hot. Scored was at 72 last week in about 49 minutes against the Dolphins. Kohler goes to fullback. That was a 130, 140 taken away for owners there. Very, very unfortunate. That's just Supercoach though, right? Like he's obviously at the Dragons this weekend, expected to absolutely towel them up. I'm pretty sure the draw actually starts to open up for the Manly as well in the next few weeks. False ball as well. From what I've seen from players, it sounds like they are playing with way more intent and heart than what they did with Anthony Seabell, which is wild to think about, right? They just came out and plain say it, but seems like they've got a bit more to play for now, get a bit more pep in their steps. So, a lot of people will be needing a trading option for Reece Walsh. There's definitely a couple avenues you can go. Obviously, if you've got, most people obviously have Sua Falongo already. I say a couple of different ways you can go, right? You can look at a Dylan Edwards. You can go leftward. You can go maybe like a Dry Gray or something like that. Tommy Turbo is definitely a top option. I can't advise you going against Tommy Turbo. Obviously, if you've got Tommy Turbo, mate, you're all sweet. It's a very, very good option for the week one. I'd definitely be looking at and considering. Alex Twal, what a world we live in. Second most traded in, because of course everyone thought Alex Twal would be the second most traded in the last 2 weeks. 608k now, made 60k last week, 5.7% trade in, break even at 14. Mate, he's just looking unreal, isn't he? He's looking unreal. If I was to go look at his average, he is just looking unbelievable out there at the moment. Averaging, he has got a 3-round average of 84. Average is 79.8 so far. His base and power is off the charts at the moment. He's just playing big minutes. He looks intent. Looks like he's playing in a better team now. I can't advise against it. It depends obviously who you're trading out. Probably people be going Trey Mooney to Alex Twal. I can't advise against it whatsoever. If you're going, maybe you're looking at going Keon a week early with a busted knee. I can't advise against it at all. Maybe if you're looking at a Jackson 4 to Alex Twal, I don't the points is probably gonna be very similar. Maybe it's obviously a drop in cash, but I don't think that's fully worth it. Obviously, it depends who you're trading in, but Mate, I can't advise going against Alex 12 at the moment. He's just looking unbelievable out there. 608k. It's hard to say he's a must-have, but fuck, he's getting to that territory where he's just hurting players because if he just keeps up this consistency of scoring, it's over 70, close to 80 in base and power, no assists, mate, like, he's going to be 800k soon. It's just like, what a world we live in. And so breaking into 14, score 60 or so, 70 this week, he's going to make another 30, 40k. Unbelievable. Yeah, truly unbelievable. Next one on the list still doesn't quite make sense. Falatino Tavana, 201k base price. He's a CT dub. I think he's dual fullback as well. Hasn't added price change yet. 5.3% trade in. Break even of -26. Now, I came on here last week and absolutely bagged out that trade. Absolutely bagged it out because Staff was on the way. I've heard since that Staff played Rezzies last week, reserve last week. He's named in reserve grade this week as well. I don't know if they're just giving him a couple of games in reserve grade before he gets back into NRL. It just still feels a bit off. Like, he's obviously going to get his price change this week. Cool, he's going to get price change no matter what. Could be, I think, 70, 80k or something like that. He's looking good, don't get me wrong. But how confident are you he's actually nailed down that right wing spot? Like, are you going like Moses Leo's name this week, Setu 2's name this week? Are you going like a fine money to him? That seems like a bit sideways to me. How confident are you that he's actually nailed down this spot, like realistically? Because I said, Stafford could by all means kill it in New South Wales Cup this week. Tafana could have an average game. Before you know it, Stafford is in this week. Tigers could lose, and Stafford straight back into right centre, and Turu's straight back into right wing, like the round 1 team or round 2 team was meant to be, right? Obviously, just unfortunate Stafford has an injury, and it just still seems like a trap. Like, I get it, it's a good little cash, but how many cash changes, like price rises, are you actually going to get out of Tavana? Is what I actually want to know. So, not for me. Like, I've got Chester, I've got Fine Money, I've got Setu 2, and I've got Makasini. Are you really going to have 2 Tiger cheapy CT dubs in your team? How confident are you playing them? Like, if you're not playing them, then you have to probably play at least one of the cheapies every week. Which cheapie is that? Probably Tom Chester at the moment, but some people don't have Tom Chester. You've got Moses Leo instead. It's all very interesting at the moment, right? So yeah, not for me. The wet hair prince, Nicholas Hines, 808k, made 68k last week, 5.1% trade in, break in of 18. Now, looking incredible, right? Can't go against it. I came on here last week and said, as a captain option, Nico is somewhere I probably wouldn't go. Didn't tend to go too well against the Warriors in the Webster era, but, mate, like, he's just looking unbelievable, right? He absolutely tore us to shreds. 144 scored last week. The only thing, if he didn't have a bye next week, I would be getting him in this week. No doubt about it. And I absolutely love Nico. He was in my first ever draft. He's in my flex spot with Cleary there as well. And then Sammy Walker goes out and tears it up in that first half of the trial. And it's the only reason I didn't end up getting Nico. And I'm kicking myself for it because he's looked so good. 131, 41, 81, 100, and then 144. Has made cash from his starting price. He's made 60k. Got the Roosters this week. High score of 114 in 6 games against the Roosters since starting at the Sharks. He's only had 1 ton, averages just about 60-ish or so. We'll go through that a little bit later. That's what's keeping me away. If I thought he was going to go big this week, I would be looking at Nicho Hynes. And I said, I'm one of the biggest Nicho Hynes fans out there. I absolutely love Nicho. It's killing me not owning him. The bye next week is just worrisome. And then he comes back, he goes, Cowboys, could be a good matchup. And he's got Tigers, another good matchup. And then at home, and then he's got Souths, and then he's got the Doggies at Magic Run, and then he's got the bye again. Now, the only thing, you don't have to, like, obviously with that round 12 bye, Cleary is probably going to be out that week as well. Like, and you have just your best 13 players, but to have 2 fullbacks out in that week is definitely hurts a lot. That's a lot sitting there. on your week off, do you want a halfback that's going to be playing there in that round 12 and during that Origin week? Then he comes back and he goes Manly, Dragons, Warriors, Roosters again, and then another bye. He's not must-have territory. If he wasn't on the bye next week, I would be saying yes, must-have like kind of territory, right? Because he'd have sort of 6 games coming up in his next like 6 weeks until that round 12 bye, and I'd be saying, yeah, let's get him in. He's absolutely killing it and just looking really good. But what does he score this week? Just feels like Finea Firiaki's situation last week, right? Where people flocked him because he's looking so good and go, if he scores 120, it's well worth it. Like, still a 60 average over 2 weeks, going for the big score. And then he got 60 or something. And especially when Yo to Finea Firiaki. Obviously, it depends who you're trading at. If you're doing like a Tanner Boyd to Nico Hines, I can get it from a cash point of view because Tanner Boyd's most likely going to drop. Nico is going to make cash. I'm happy just to wait 2 weeks. Nico will make his 30, 40K this week, and then I'll probably just get him in 2 weeks for the 4 games. Looks like pretty good matchup. Just someone to get out for Dan Atkinson. So yeah, I'll probably be looking at Nico Hines in a couple weeks, but just not for me this week. Nathan Cleary, 859K. We speak about this bloke every single week. Made 24.7K last week. That should be green. That is my bad. 4.9% traded in. Break even of 46. Yeah. Just get the bloke in. I don't get why people don't own Cleary yet. He should consistently average like ton. He hasn't had the really big score like Nico has to really destroy your week if you don't own, but he's just a captaincy option every single week. You know exactly what you're going to get. The Panthers are the best team I've ever seen in my fucking lifetime at the moment. They're just looking unbelievable. They're looking so freaking good. Just get the bloke in. If you've already got Nico, you've got Tanner Boyd, get to Nathan Cleary. Just do it. Yeah, he's going to play Origin, but just freaking get to Nathan Cleary. I just don't get it. He's going to make a little bit more cash this week. His 200th game this week against the Doggies as well. He could absolutely tear them to shreds tonight today when you're listening to this. Get Nathan Cleary in. I don't get why you wouldn't own Nathan Cleary. Please, if you don't own Nathan Cleary, let me know your reasoning. Only reason I could say is maybe you've rolled with Nico and Tanner Boyd for a few weeks, but Tanner Boyd's going to lose cash. He's not going to, you can't confidently play him like you can Nathan Cleary. Tanner Boyd is not a captaincy option like Nathan Cleary every single week. Just get Nathan Cleary. End of discussion. Doesn't need to be talked about any longer. Semi Sasangi, dual to RF, CT Dart, 585K, made 57K last week. Still 4.1% trading, break even of -2 still. Semi Sasangi. Is he going to be the one that gets away from me? No, I'm not getting him in this week. Because again, I had a shocker with my what I came on and said last week. Because came on here last week and I said, I'm worried about the Rays and what they're going to do with shift changes. I feel like Matty Timoko is going to come back into this team any sort of week now, right? Any sort of week. Go into center, push Timmy to 2RF on that right edge. That will reduce his minutes. That also reduce Noah Martin's minutes as well. And I feel like in the next coming weeks, you'll be trading out both because they're both going to leak cash. Didn't happen last week. Scored 95 last week. He's gone 72, 84, 50, 97, 95. And that 50 was in the pouring wet against the Doggies as well. Absolutely killing it. So you think in pretty decent weather games, he is at least going 70, which is pretty bloody enormous, right? Oh, I'm still not getting him. Something is telling me they're 1-4. They're literally 1-4 on the precipice of 1-5. Like they go 1-5. What? You can't just surely keep sending out the same fucking team. Surely, Ricky, right? Like I feel like as soon as they get him in and they lose, might score 70 this week. The change is going to come next week. Like, how long can you keep Matty Timoko on the bench or on the reserve set? Is he on the way out? Is that why? Like, is he not getting any game time whatsoever? Like, Ricky told us after like round 1 that, Noel Martin's not going to be playing 80 week in, week out. He'll move Simi around. He'll get Timoko back in. He's working really hard. Was that just to fool us? Like, I don't know. But I'm still not getting him in. It's painful. He's 585k. He's going to be the one that kind of gets away from me. He's going to make more cash this week. Yeah. It's just something is just ringing, and maybe it's my conservative trade approach this year. Something is just telling me just to avoid this week. Obviously, just let it go. The change is coming. I feel like if I should have gone on, I probably should have gone last week. He's looking unreal. I can't deny it. I really can't deny it. But if they lose again this week, what changes? Like, something has to change. Like, something has to change, right? Yeah. Ugh. Just, yeah. Weird one. Casey McLean, 691k, made 45k last week, 2.7% trade in, break even of 8. Now, this is essentially people going from Stephen Crichton to Casey McLean, and I can't really go against it whatsoever. He is on that left edge with Milky Jenkins in a team that is absolutely blitzing the field at the moment. I can't go advise against it at the moment. He is a New Zealand centre. He's 19 years old. He is an absolute freak, right? He's just absolutely killing it. He's going up against Inari Tuala tonight, which, fuck me, he could absolutely tear him a new one. Break even of 8, as we said. He's gone 38, 76, 49, 112, and now 104 for an average of 75.8 on the season. Just, like, yeah, looking fucking unreal, right? Like, 3-round average of 88.3. He's inside Milky Jenkins, who's scored 12 tries so far. He's going to get assists. He's going to get tries himself like he did last week. I can't advise against it. Like, he's a really good trade in this week. A really good trade target. Next few weeks, he's got doggies. Well, he's got doggies tonight. Dolphins up in Perth. Newcastle, Manly, Raiders, Dragons, and then the bye. There's some very good matchups in the next 6 weeks. I mean, look, they're 5-0. All of them are good matchups, right? But in terms of really good matchups, that is a lot of decent matchups for the Panthers there. Even like next week, he's got facing Jake Everett. Then he'll probably go against Dan Gagai, maybe a bit trickier. Then he's coming up against like Ruben Garrick, and then he's coming against Sasani if that remains, and then he gets Val Holmes. So, I mean, he's a New Zealand centre. He's absolutely tearing it to fucking shreds at the moment, and like how I can't advise against it. I literally cannot advise against it at the moment. He's just looking unreal. I definitely consider him this week. I'm going to go another route, whatever you want to say. But as I said, I can completely understand the Casey McLean trade in this week. Another Panthers player, 3 and 4, 3 on this list here. Dylan Edwards, 732k. Made 3k last week, 2.5% trade in, and break even of 90. Kind of same deal as like Casey McLean in a way. Like, well, not really. Like, again, the Reece Walsh to Dylan Edwards trade, right? Maybe some people have already got Turbo. That's why they're flocking to Dylan Edwards. He's just so fit, looking like he's back to his best. A little bit of an off year last year. Again, he's just looking like he's back to his best, right? 85, 65, 93, 39 against the Eels, and then 108 last week. Still averaging 78 on the season. Looks a bit inconsistent with scores at the moment, but he's a guy that absolutely just churns out good scores, so right? Has that one bad one in there every so often. At worst, I feel like you're going to get at least 60. Going to be playing Origin. That will be the only thing. So you are getting him in for the next sort of 5 or 6 weeks, which is fine. I think that's still absolute fine trading. And if you've already someone that's got Silver and you've got Turbo, I think Dylan Edwards is the next best option out of the list there. I'm just trying to think of like other really sort of good options that are like there at the moment, and it's just not really quite clicking at the moment. Like if I was to have a look-see at fullbacks, Hammer, like maybe drink water, but I think the draw gets pretty tough in them at the moment. You're not going to go Keanu Kenny, you're not going to go K.O. Weeks, you're not going to go Will Kennedy. The only other one that you could look at is James Tedesco, but I think that's a player to look at next week, just due to the high break even. So I can fully understand the Dylan Edwards trade in this week because he's just looking really good, and he's in a really, really good team as well. Not someone I'm going for this week, but can't really go against it whatsoever. KPP, playing in the KPP Cup this week, 696k, made 50k last week, 2% trade in, break even of 16, mate. He's been finally unlocked. I started with him last year. He got, average to good scores. It was never really unlocked that he has been this year with Benji. Went a year early. It went a year early. Feels like my mate with Fine Fuyaki went a year early. I went a year early in KPP. The first round buy scared me off. I'm starting this year at 6 at the price tag as well. But mate, he's just looking fucking incredible. Finally playing up to what we know his potential is. He is just looking an outright beast out there at the moment. Tigers are playing good footy. He's literally had 2 assists last week off 2 offloads. So it's just so many points. That's an easy 24 points there for those 2 assists. He's just looking unbelievable out there. He's basing really good. He's making a whole bunch of tackles. He's running hard. He's scoring tries. He's assisting tries. He's doing all of it, right? He's absolutely doing all of it. He's next to Adam Dewey, who's playing incredible footy. He's on the Tigers, who are playing also incredible footy at the moment as well. Is this the Dylan Lucas of last year? Or Dylan Lucas of 2026? Is this the guy that's going to absolutely kill me week in, week out? And I should be owning? I feel like he should be more owned, right? I think he's still less than 10% owned. Again, can't advise against it whatsoever. He's looking fucking incredible at their KPP. I honestly, I don't have the duels. All my 2RF duels are actually in my front row forward at the moment, which is very frustrating. So I actually cannot get Kai Pierre-Paul in this week unless I trade out like a Lua, which I'm not going to do, Angus Crichton, which I've held for these matchups coming up. Fafita, maybe, but I don't have the cash for it. Fucking debacle, right? Absolute debacle. So KPP, another one that may get away, may have to look at it potentially in the next week or so. Hopefully he doesn't kill me, but he's got the Knights. He'll want to absolutely destroy KPP against Dylan Lucas. It's such a good matchup though, right? Such a good matchup. Very, very excited for that one. Cheese, Brandon Smith, 235k. Nope. Obviously making his debut for the season. This debut game so far this season. 1.8% trade in. Obviously break him at 25. No price changes. Does need to play 3 times before he gets his first one. I think you can wait a week, just see how he's going, see the minutes he's played. You still got Bronson Garlick and Mamazola there on the bench. They're not going to use both, obviously, but very intrigued to see his minutes and his role. I assume he'll play hooker for the first 20-25 minutes, go off the bench, and then come back on for maybe the last 30 minutes of the match. Maybe in a lock roll or something like that. They've only got a 3 forward bench south, so I'm very intrigued to see how they do play it. I think you can wait a week. If you desperately need the cash to go read money to cheese, I guess I could get around it, right? If you do need that to fulfill another trade to boost, I can get around it, I guess. But I think it's just you just want to wait and see how he plays, right? He's not really a playable option week in, week out, from my perspective at least. And I don't think he will be really, maybe until Origin time. I just think you can wait and see. I just think you can really sort of wait and see, right? And just see what you're really going to get out of Cheese. I don't really need to speak about Cheese too much. We know what Cheese has been like previously. I think it's just a wait and see. But I said, if you desperately need him to have the funds to do another trade, I can get around it in a way that to, go up to Alex Twal or go up to Turbo or go up to KPP, even get Cleary in. There's a few options I would do it for. I'm not ready. I've still got money. I'll probably be going down to Cheese in the next couple of weeks. I just want to see how he goes. I just want to see his role, right? If I know he's only going to make 50k, why the fuck would I bother getting him? I may as well just hold money, or just go up to Brayley from there. But it's just a wait and see on Cheese. It's just a wait and see. But that's your top 10 trade-ins. Obviously, Turbo, top 1 trade-in. Very likely for me this week, I think. Let's have a look at the top 10 traded out players for the week here. Obviously, the top 1 on the list this week is Reece Walsh. 746k. Lost a bit of cash last week. 17% trade out in this one here. Out 5 to 7 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. It's the easiest trade out. If you've got him, trade him out. It's an easy switch to Turbo or an Edwards or nearly a pod player. Literally anyone, I guess, in flex, right? If you've got Stewart and you've got Turbo already, you can go to absolutely anyone in that flex if you really want to. Easy trade out. I really don't need to speak about anymore. We can't even look at getting him in when he's back because it's Origin time. I assume he's going to get picked for Queensland still. He's in really good form. It's unfortunate, right? Like, he was in for such a bloody good score last week. He's going to be on 70 plus at halftime if he didn't step out, and then 2 minutes later, fractures his cheekbone. Fucking sick. Supercoach to an absolute T. Captaincy as well. Just exactly what you want, but easiest trade out this week. I'll be doing it absolutely no doubt about it. I don't see the point in waiting a week unless you want to go to Teddy. But you may as well I'd just say just get Teddy in this week, right? Unless you're worried really about losing potentially 20, 30K. He's a playable option, Teddy, this week. I'd be just going, if you really want Teddy and you got Walsh, I'll just be doing it this week. Just rip the band-aid off. Don't wait a week. Just do it this week. Jordan Pez at 363K. Mate, lost a little bit of cash last week. Out for about 6 or so weeks now, 4 or 6 weeks with a hammy, 6% traded out. I mean, it depends who you're trading in, right? Like, there's not really... 5'8's a bit shit this year, right? Like, Josh Papali'i is probably like the only option. I've got both. That's my issue now at the moment. It depends who you're trading out, like... Or trading in, sorry, excuse me. Like, if you've already got Purdue, no point trading out, really. If you've already got Fletcher Sharp, no point. Like, I don't... Like, he's not a must trade out this week. He's not going to lose any cash. I think you can have a look to see potentially how Papali'i goes again this week to see if he's a must trade in at 5'8 there. It's just a bit of a... It's just an open casket. It's just a shithole. It's just shit this year, right? I'm not trading out Jenna Pezzett this week. I've got bigger issues, but I just think get it. He looked ordinary last week, but like, who am I going to go to? There wasn't even a 5'8 on the top trade-in list there, even though it's worth it. Unless you've going up to, I think you've missed a boat on Purdue. I don't think Clifford keeps it up. Maybe Fletcher Sharp. It's a hard one, right? I wouldn't be going to Cody Walker. Yeah, it's just I wouldn't be trading it. I'd just be holding just to see what other options are out there next week. He's only 360K, so it's not like a massive price tag that you have to trade out. Not gonna lose any cash. I'll just wait. I don't get the trade out this week. Stephen Cryan, this is one I can get around the trade out. 548K, lost 40K last week. Pain in my fucking ass. 5.3% trade out. CT Dub, a little bit of a pod option. A few people started with to start the season. Well, he's out sort of 6 weeks now. I think he's going to be okay for Origin, but yeah, trade him out. Can you wait a week to see what other options there may be? Potentially, you just have to play a cheapie. I think it's an easy trade out to go to a Casey McLean or one Robert Toya. You've got other options there potentially as well. Maybe you can fit him into your flex somehow and get anyone else in. Easy trade out, right? 550K is not something you want to sit on the bench for 6 weeks. Then he's got Origin, so he's going to be out for longer. He's not a must-have by any means. Yeah, I'd be looking at trading Stephen Cryan out, which I will be doing this week. All right. Payne Haas, 809K, 28K loss last week. 3.1% trade out, break even at 5. Now, this is a weird one. The break even is not 5. Excuse me. Why have I got break even at 5? I've mixed it up there. That is completely my bad. Break even is about 120 something. Should really triple check these. I thought I double checked it, but break even is not 5. Excuse me. Break even is about 120 or so. Completely. If you're watching, I'm very sorry about the graphic there. I feel like the Payne Haas trade should have happened 2 weeks ago. At worst, last week. I get his output wasn't great last week. Maybe people are scared, but I think he's only going to get more output. I think he should be getting healthier from here. It's a weird one. I'm not in that position because I don't have him anymore. But is there a world you just hold him? Or maybe you feel like 12's outscoring him and you just go down to 12, which I can understand, right? Probably the only guy I would be going down to. If you need the cash, obviously to fund other trades, I can kind of get around it, but still Payne Haas, right? I don't think he's scoring another 46 or whatever this week. I think he's only going to get healthy with that shoulder. I think his output is going to get better coming into Origin there as well. They'll probably need him this week with the fucking lack of spine that the Broncos have as well. Queensland Derby, he went huge against the Cowboys last year. What's to say he won't go massive against them this week, right? He could score a try. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I can understand it, but also it's pain hard. So I think I just hold as well. If you are trading him out, the only thing is you're not trading him back in until probably after the origin period. So it's just a big long-term decision you also have to make. You're not getting him back in short-term. You are waiting long-term. Oh, Keanu Keeney, my boy, 520k. 2.4% trade out, break even of 109. Does he actually have a break even of 109? Fuck me, at that price tag. 69. Wow, I've obviously not done my break evens on this graphic here. My sincerest apologies on that one there. That is completely my bad. Break even of 69 this week. Giggity. Yeah. I can't even trade him out this week because I have to do other trades, but fuck, I would be doing it if I could. I'd be going to Turbo, I'd be going to Dylan Edwards, I'd be going to fucking anyone else. I'd be going to Teddy as well. The break-even game just doesn't seem to be wanting to happen anytime soon, which is very frustrating for owners. But if you've got him, I think I have to play him this week as well. I don't want to play anyone else, which is, again, annoying. What does he do against Eels? I have not a fucking clue. Yeah, very, very, very frustrating. If you don't have any other big issues, I'd be looking at trading Keeney out. I have to hold, unfortunately, but I can 100% get the trade out. Probably should have done it a couple of weeks ago. I wish I started with Turbo instead of Keeney. That Supercoach, though, he was a good buy at the start of the year value-wise, and he's just going to start bleeding cash. Now, this one, I can get the top 5. I can't get this one. David Fafita, 532k. He made cash last week, 2.4% trade out. Now, because all my fucking graphics are break-evens are wrong in this one here, I obviously just need to double-check these break-evens. Break-even of 60. Yeah, good on ya, Skooshi. Break-even of 60 this week for David Fafita. Why are you trading him out? That's what I want to know. Are you disappointed with how he's looked? Like, he's still 532k. Like, what, are you annoyed that he played 68 minutes last week? He went off with blisters. Like, he probably plays 80 again this week. Like, and if he only played 65, 68 minutes last week, isn't that what you're expecting preseason? Like, I feel like everyone was probably expecting him to be 800k by now. Like, he's still 5 weeks into a new team. He's still, I think, see how it goes this week, right? If he looks awful, it's not like his scores are shit, right? Like, he still had, 46 last week. That's his absolute worst. I can cop it, right? But his potential is sky high. It's still a ton, like he did in round 1. Why? That's what I want to know. Why are you trading out David Fafita? Like, why? Like, is it to fund KPP? Is it to fund Alex Twal or something? Like, or are you just flat out disappointed in Fafita? Like, I don't get it. Like I said, he's not going to lose a massive amount of cash. He's got the potential there. He's next to Cody Walker and Latrell. He had blisters last week. He should be okay this week. Why are you trading him out? That's what I want to know. Not for me this week. I think it's a bit of a silly trade out. Trey Mooney, 475k, 7.6 cash K lost last week, 2.3% trade out. Obviously have to check his break even because I assume it is not 84. It is 63 this week. So not going to lose a massive amount of cash, but he's becoming an option I am not looking at playing. I have not played him. So they've played 4 games. I've played him for the first 2 rounds. I'm not playing him the last 2 games that the Newcastle Knights have had. I get it. Like, you can probably go to 12. Easy trade up, I think. I unfortunately cannot fund it with my trades this week, which is very, very frustrating. Yeah, I can understand this. I can fully understand it. He's not an absolute must trade out, but I said he's not an option that we're looking at playing this week, and he's 475k, just sitting there on your bench, not making any cash, probably going to start losing cash. Minutes are a bit of a shit show. Yeah, I can get the trade up for sure. And I said I'll be going trade me to 12, 100%, right? Like I just don't quite have the cash this week. I have to get in other more must-have players, in my opinion, to to have a better 18 this week. But yeah, I mean, if I could, if I had 4 trades, I'd be looking at trading Trey Mooney at 100% this week. I'd be going Trey Mooney to 12. I wouldn't even think twice about it. I think it's an easy trade, but I just have a few more important trades ahead of him. Unfortunately, which shows how much of a fucking shit show my team's at the moment. But yeah, I'd be trading at Trey Mooney. Tanner Boyd, 748k, 2.2% traded out. Let's have a look at his break even because I know it is over 100. But 117. So he should probably, if he scores 72 this week, he'll lose about 30, nearly 40k of cash. Interesting one, right? Pretty horrible matchup this week, I'd say, against the Storm. It could be fucking anything, though. I would be getting at Tanner this week. I don't think he can keep up this consistent scoring that he had at the start of the year. If he is the reason, if you need, if you've got Nico and you got Tanner Boyd and you need Nathan Cleary, I would 110 fucking % be going Tanner Boyd to Nathan Cleary this week, and I wouldn't even think a half second more about it. Cleary is a vice captaincy option. He's a captaincy option every week. He's playing for the best fucking team in the comp at the moment. If you've got, would you go Tanner Boyd to Nico? Yeah, I would go Tanner Boyd to Nico this week as well. Just because Tanner's going to lick cash, Nico's going to make cash. There is a bit of a difference there. Again, Nico has the bye next week. I forget who the Warriors have got next week. But I would be looking at trading Tanner Boyd out. He had his first bad score of the year last week. Does he bounce back this week? I mean, as a fan, I'd fucking love to see it. I'd absolutely love to see him rip this Storm apart. I don't really see it happening. He's only going to lose more cash, I think. He has to literally score a ton to consolidate his price. I think it's an easy upgrade. 60k to Nico, 100k to Nathan Cleary. Just get it done. Just fucking get it done. You're not downgrading, you're only upgrading. Just fucking get it done. Ethan Sanders, 335k. Didn't lose really too much cash last week. 2% traded out. Obviously, let's check his break even because I've made an absolute clusterfuck of that graphic there. My apologies once again. He's got a break even of 44, so he's not going to lose a massive amount of cash. Look, he's made 88k. Honestly, him and Atkinson have been pretty disappointing halfbacks, cheapy-wise, to start the year. We expected probably a lot more, considering Sanders' goal kicking as well. It's been pretty disappointing. I mean, you're only trading him out so you can so you can get Cleary or Hines. If you got the cash, just go to Cleary 100%. He's not going to lose cash. I've got bigger issues this week than trading out Atkinson. I've got Atkinson over Sanders at the moment. I just think I've got big issues. If you're someone that's got, let's say, Hines and Sanders, would I go up to Clear? It's 500k. It's a lot of big. It depends how much cash you have in the bank. Maybe you've got Payne Haas. You can trade him out. Kind of other awkward downgrade options. So right, this week it's all about upgrading this week, I think. Yeah, it's a hard one, right? I'll leave that up to you. It's a lot of bicky to go up. It just depends who you're obviously trying to fit in there. Maybe you're going to go Adam Dewey. But if you're going to Adam Dewey, I'll just be going to Nathan Cleary. You're gonna want Nathan Cleary for the whole fucking season at this stage. He's looking unbelievable. He has potential to go big every single week and start to hurt you. He's a vice captaincy and a captaincy option every single week. It's just obviously a lot of bicky to go from Ethan Sanders up to Nathan Cleary, which I can understand. Same with Nico Hines there as well. But is it time to trade Ethan Sanders out? I mean, not must have because his break even is only 46, but not a playable option. I can understand that if you want the double gun halfback, I can completely understand that as well. And then last on the list, Selwyn Cobbo, 498k, 6.9k drop last week, 1.4% trade out. Let's go check the break even here because again, it's not correct. He has got a high break even, 76 break even. If your biggest issue is Selwyn Cobbo, I'm very jealous of you this week, but I'd be looking to upgrade to a Casey McLean or other options there as well. He's just been disappointing, man. Like, I think, what's his score so far? 54, 37, 70, 44, and 41. If you had told me at the start of like preseason that Selwyn Cobbo's biggest score after 5 rounds would be 70, I would be pretty shocked. I thought he was going to have a really good season. I thought I would probably be honestly looking at getting him in after like round 3 or 4, like if he looked really good next to Herbie as well. But his base and power is weak. He's had 1 try. He's had 2 assists. He had 41 last week with an assist as well. He's just not getting the attacking stats that we're used to. And that was with a line break as well last week. Base is crap. Base is crap. I'm just not interested. Needs a lot of line breaks. Needs a lot more output to warrant even his price tag. I'd be trading him out. If that's an issue that you have this week, you don't have to necessarily play him. I'll play a cheapie over him. Obviously, Dolphins on the bye this week. Yeah, I'd be looking at trading someone Cobbo out for, in my opinion. All right. Before we get into captaincies, let's get into my team. Where am I looking at with trades for the week? Let's bring up the old screen. So, what I'm going to do, I'm just actually going to undo that. I should have done that before I start. Let's just optimize this. Let's just get this going. 120k in the bank, 40 trades, and 4 boosts. I've already activated 1 up there. So, at this stage, my issues at the moment, I have obviously Reid Marnie. I've got Trey Mooney's an issue. Kalamatangi potentially an issue. I think he's going to be ruled out this week. Dan Atkinson is an issue now. Jonah Pez is an issue. Who else we got? Herbie on the bye. Crichton is an issue. He's injured. And then obviously Reece Walsh and then Keanu Keeney. So, first things first. Let's trade out Reece Walsh. And let's go 1 Tom Trbojevic. I've thought about Turbo all week. I looked at him over Edwards. Looked at Edwards over him very, very, very briefly. But I'm just more scared of Turbo. I'm way more scared of not owning Turbo than Edwards, which I think is a pretty clear indication of who I realistically should be going for. Next on the list, Stephen Crichton out. Now, we could be looking at, I've also do 2 trades. I actually can't do Stephen Crichton to Casey McLean this week if I want Turbo. I'll need to fund 4 more K, which I could do in a potential 3rd trade. But I'm going to go kind of against the grain. I'm going to go a guy that is averaging really well, and he's only in the top 10%. Let's see what his ownership is at. Let's see what his ownership is at, because I would say it's pretty darn low. Here we go. Scrolling. This is top 10%. I don't think I've missed his name. Here he is. 2.4% owned in the top 10%. 1 Robbie Bobby Toya for the right centre of the Sydney Bondi Roosters. He's just looking incredible, I think. I think he's 21. He's only going to get better. Essentially, his first year starting last year. You can't see, but he's 636k, break even of -5 this week. He's going to make good cash this week. Could be 700k next week. He's gone 54, 89, and 122. He's coming up against KL Iro this week, which is not the worst matchup, not the best though. He did miss 10 tackles a couple of weeks ago. Big thing is he's got Mark Nwangani Tawase outside of him as well. And, I mean, it'll probably fucking change this week. A lot of the ball is going right in this Roosters team. A lot of ball is going to the right at the moment. Not a lot of ball is going to Tupou and Billy Smith / Hugo Savala. A lot of ball seems to be going to the right. Coming off 122 and the bye. The Roosters, this is why I'm getting him and why I held Angus Crichton, why I'm looking at potentially James Tedesco soon. Plays the Sharkies in Perth this week, and I do like the Roosters this week. Comes back, plays the Knights at home. Then he's got the Dragons. Then they've got 3 home games. You've got the Knights, Dragons, and then the Broncos there. That Broncos matchup is against their left edge, which is shocking, right? Shibasaki will probably be marking him. Shocking matchup for Shibasaki there. Then he's got the Titans, and then he's got the Cowboys at Magic Round. Those 6 matchups, fucking juicy, man. They are juicy. He could be the guy that is nearly a must-have. He could potentially be 800k coming into that next buy. I just like the look of him, man. I just think he's looking really fucking sharp. I'm going against the grain of Casey McLean. They have got a very similar average. I'm paying a little bit less for a price tag. Could I go Mark Nwangani Tawase? Yes, I could, but I'm paying a little bit less for Toya. The break even is a bit better, and I just think they're probably going to score very similar. Like, I feel like, apart from when you crossfield kicks, if Mark scores, Toya is probably going to be on the other side of it. And with the new scoring, like, he just has to get the last touch to Mark, and he gets that assist. So, really like the look of Toya in the next 6 weeks. I think he'll be a very, very good option to have. Unfortunately, obviously, I have to trade out Crichton, but that will leave me with my 3 best CTWs as Herbie Farnworth, Latrell, and then Robbie Toya. And then obviously still playing with these 4 cheapies around, which Chester's probably looking like a hold for a bit, but I'm not sure what to do with Macassini, Money, and 2. Now, that leaves me with 50k in the bank for a potential third trade. I cannot go Trey Mooney to Alex Twal, which absolutely sucks. If I had more cash, that would be the easiest fucking trade in of the week. I'd be 100% boosting. Now, Kolomatangi is banged up. He's banged up. Is he going to play this week? I was surprised that he is named. It would have made my decision a whole lot easier. I reckon he potentially gets ruled out. If he is going to get ruled out, and good thing is because South's played before the Tigers, so we will know, is easy one, Kolomatangi to Alex Twal. Will be boosting. I am not hesitant to rip a boost. I've only used one so far. That would leave me with 37 trades and 3 boosts. Now, yeah, I mean, those 3 trades I think are very, very good. So, Kolomatangi, Crichton, and Walsh out for Twal, Toya, and Turbo. If Kolomatangi plays, how many minutes does he play, and what's his output going to be like? He scored, 55 still last week, which is fine. Could it be aggravated again during the game and he doesn't play the full potential minutes that he has? Sure. At the moment, we know what we're getting out Alex Twal. It's not been a fluke. He's just getting good minutes. He's getting really good base, and he's working really hard defensively as well. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to rip this boost. I think I've been convinced during the week, even though Kolomatangi has been named to trade him out. Sit these starts, though. I don't want to play Trey Mooney. I think it just doesn't, like, you know what you're going to get. It's like a 50. Yeah, he scored in Vegas. He's not going to fucking do that again probably this year. Obviously, I need to shuffle this round. So, Bobby Toya, let's put him in for Fine Marnie at the moment. I'll probably play Macassini at the moment. Got Turbo, and I think Seti 2 is a little sneaky play against that Manly left edge because it still sucks. It's expecting something out of Dragon, so it's him or Fine Marnie. I'm going to bank it on Setu 2. Yeah, I think I am. So, at this stage, Harry Grant, not going to play Reed Marnie. You've got Jackson Ford and Alex Twal there, and then Aaron Mahal as my reserve. Jackson Ford will not be my VC. VC is Nathan Cleary. Luciano Lua, Angus Crichton, and Martin there, and then David Fafita there on the tour there as well. I'm pretty sure I'll have to switch that depending on the matchups this week. Let me just check down here. What am I looking at? So, technically, Souths play before the Roosters, so I'll put that there, and then Dragons play Friday. So, cool. Easy. VC and Nathan Cleary, whole world will fucking VC Nathan Cleary, but I just can't not. I missed out on it last week. I'm not doing it again. Josh Papali starting in my 5-8 there. Obviously, Jonah Pezza injured. Going to be there sitting a while, I feel like. Please go big. Please go big. And then in my CT dubs, Latrell Mitchell, Bobby Toya, Tom Chester, Marcy Macassini, and then playing Setu 2 there in my reserves. Let's go. Just checking to see the matchups this week. Obviously, I'll just put Setu 2 there and have Marcy Macassini as my last reserve because he plays the last game of the week. And then fullbacks, we've got Suafalongo, Tommy Turbo, and Keanu Keeney. I am very tempted. Very, very tempted to captain Turbo this week. However, I am shit scared of what the Storm can do to the Warriors this week. Absolutely shit scared. Please, please, Warriors, do something. I think I'm going to captain Turbo. Friday captaincy seems a bit gross. Yeah, I'm tossing up. I'm not quite sure whether Turbo or Sewer at the moment. Sewer could absolutely destroy us. Absolutely fucking destroy us. But yeah, just to recap my trades at the moment, boosting. At the moment, said boosting. Kolomatangi out, Crichton out, Reece Walsh out for Tommy Turbo, Bobby Toyer, and Alex Toll. Leaves me with 80k or 79k in the bank, 37 trades, and 3 boosts. Think I'm liking the look of this so far. Let's get into some captaincy options for this week. Now, you'll see how I've done it there on the screen. So you'll see I've got 3 columns there. I've got, just go to my screen here, VC column there on the left, and then got your captaincy in the middle there. That is just overall. And then on the right there, I've got top 10% captaincy options, which is just ranked by people ranked in the top 10%, which is not me, by the way. But I feel like you're getting a bit better data because I said a lot of people have stopped playing now. You'll see that Payne Haas is still overall the big difference, 7.5% captaincy compared to in the 10%, 1.2%. So it just shows how quite a lot of people actually stopped playing this week because I wouldn't be captaining Payne Haas. That's for fucking sure. So let's have a look at Rugby League Fantasy Pro on this list this week. So we're not going to get a whole lot of data from looking at Sewer in regards to what he has scored previously against the Warriors. I'll be surprised if he has played against the Warriors before. Let's just go expanders. If you don't have Rugby League Fantasy Pro, it's pretty bloody epic. It literally shows NRL data, and even reserve grade data as well. He's played 1 game at fullback. He scored 88. He got 32 in base and power. It looks like he scored 2 tries as well. That freaks me the fuck out there. 88. I wonder what the score was in that game there. Very, very interested. But now, if we go down to, on the left side, you can't see my screen. If I go down to opponent game log and I go to Warriors. Now, Will Kennedy absolutely tore us to shreds last week. So far this season, for fullbacks against the Warriors, averaging 77.6. They've gone 92, 49, 46, 88, and 113. Now, the last 2 weeks are probably a good indication because that's been our 2 losses, 88 and 113. So that does make Sewer definitely a very considerable Supercoach captaincy option for the week, which is what I am potentially looking at as well. You've got better VC options earlier on in the week, so I would not be VCing him. I would just be straight captaining him. 4.9% VC, which makes sense. 28.3. Here's the top captaincy option in the top 10% at the moment, which I can definitely understand. I believe it's good weather in Melbourne this week as well. They've got a really good history against us. Let's see what it was in 2025. They averaged 60.2, which is a little bit on the lower side than I probably would have thought there, which I find interesting. That does include a 9 there as well. A few tons in there. We've got a 117 from Latrell. We've got a 116 from Drinking, and we've got a 105 from Ryan Pappenhausen there. So, I mean, Storm did it. I think they only played us. They played us once last year. I remember Pappenhausen absolutely tore us a new one. The Storm tore us a new one on that day there as well. So definitely a very good captaincy option this week. Looking at the Silver logo against the Warriors. All right, next one on the list. This is a pretty obvious one here, and that is one Nathan Cleary. So just go to Nathan Cleary. Let's just see, go back to 20. I always like to do the last 3 years. I mean, we can go in the Premiership era, the Dynasty era, against the Doggies. Include the finals as well, because he tore them to fucking shreds. Averages 70 on the dot. He's played 7 games against them in the last 5 years, essentially there. 80, 55, 64, 82, 34, only played 39 minutes, 76 and 99. So now, if I was to go up here and play at least 40 minutes, that'll take away that game. Average is 76. Not the worst. He's actually never turned up against them since the Premiership era, even in 2020. Even in 2020, like that brings it down to 71.4. I find that so bloody interesting. I get the last couple of years, doggies have been hard defensively as a matchup, but that really does surprise me. 71.4 average against the doggies. However, it's his 200th tonight. He could absolutely tear the fucking Bulldogs to shreds. I'm not willing to take the fucking chance on it. If we have a look at halfbacks against the Bulldogs so far this year, let's go to half and let's go right side for halfback there. Obviously 4 games because I've played 4 games. Average of 42.5, 32, 56, 51, and 31. But your halfbacks have been Dan Atkinson, Ethan Strange, Sandon Smith, and Jamie Humphries. I don't want to compare it because, like, they're nowhere near the elite level of Nathan Cleary, with all due respect to those guys. Last year, they averaged 43, but that is obviously a bit skewed in this one. 1 ton, which is Adam Reynolds against them. From that list, just seeing other potential big scores. 72 in there, 76. 87 from Adam Dewey, of course. And then 74 from Nico. Not too many massive real scores in there, to be honest. Obviously, Doggies probably one of the best defensive team last year. I just think they'll really be missing Stephen Crichton tonight. That's all I am thinking about. So I can definitely get around, obviously, Nathan Cleary captaincy or the vice captaincy. If you want to go Thursday C, be my guest. I've been burned before. I will not be yet doing it again. All right. Next on the list is one Tom Trbojevic against the Dragons. I feel like he could absolutely tear them a fucking new one. And going by that, I think I will captain Tom Trbojevic for a 250, as you can see there, obviously. Let's go since 2021 because that was proper PVL ball, right? Obviously, he's probably not played a huge amount because he's only played, really? He's not even 2021. Okay. He's played 2 games against them in the last 5 years for a 51 and an 81. That is pretty shite data there. Pretty fucking shite data. So, can't really, just going to, good work. So, Tom Trbojevic, you'll see that against the Dragons there. 2 games, one last year, he scored 81, and then another one in 2024 for a 51. Base and power 63 in that matchup last year. Yes, base and power 63 plus a lot of these other attacking stats. He could go fucking huge. But do we finally see a response from St. George Illawarra? I probably wouldn't be banking on it, to be honest with you. Let's look at fullbacks against the Dragons this year so far, averaging 77.6, 57, 155 from Sewer, 33, 55, and 88. You look at the good fullbacks, like I want to say the elite, so probably Drinkwater and probably Sewer, the 155 and the 88 there. Yeah, look, if you don't own Turbo, I'd be very fucking shit scared. Last year against the Dragons, fullbacks averaged 68.6, which is not too bad. Couple of big scores in there, 102 from Iyongi. We had a 118 from Tedesco. We've had a 151 from KO Weeks. Wow, I don't even remember that game. Obviously, 81 from Turbo, 78 from Torpicky, 88 from Drinkwater, 89 from Tedesco again, 86 from Iyongi again, 88 from Lehigh when he played. So 88 from a Manly fullback last year when they played them. 92 from Connor Tracy there as well. Who else have we got? 63.4 in 2024. I would just be very scared. Turbo looked very involved last week. He was on 72 after 49 minutes and could have gone absolutely huge, right? Absolutely humongous. He is going to be my captaincy option. I'm pretty confident about it. I think it's like barring HIAs, he's going to be very involved. Sounds like they're playing a lot more for Falls than what they did with Seabold. So yeah, I am looking at Tommy Turbo. Next on the list, one Nico Hines. So Nicholas Wet Hair Prince Hines. Let's have a look. See, 12.4% captained in the top 10%. Let's go since 2022 because that's since he's been at the Sharkies. Playing against the Roosters. Rooster, man. I want to be a Roosters, man. Averages 67.2. This is what I was talking about at the start of the episode. if you are looking at trading in Nico, because obviously he does have to buy next week, he has gone 50, 73, 114, 54, 58, and 54 against the Roosters. Now, if we were to take away that 2024 match, and I get it's just like one game, but he averages 57.8 if you take away that ton. 1 ton in 6 games. Apart from that, biggest score is 73. I get it. Last week I came on here and I said he doesn't have good score well against the fucking Warriors, and then he absolutely tore us apart. But Roosters, although they've been pretty bad defensively so far to start the year, off a bye, I think they'll be very, 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 very up for it. Sharkies just played Sunday. Now they got to go over to Perth, playing the Saturday against a team that's just come off a week off. One just to think about, right? Just one to think about. Halfbacks against the Roosters so far this year, averaging 68.3. Now we've got 131 from Tanner, 29 from Bud Sullivan, 69 Giddy from Cleary, and a 44 from Fogarty. Not too bad. Offset at 131 is pretty good from Tanner. Could Nico do that? I mean, potentially. Potentially, if you could. 2025 half scored average. Wow, halfbacks average. Okay, this is a bit skewed. Obviously, there's a Jamie Humphreys in there. But it's 49.7. I want to say just above the 50 mark. 50 isn't that, over 50 isn't that big. But I get it. We don't have a whole lot of elite halves like we do, like Nico in the comp. But I said, Nico still doesn't score that super well against him, right? Even what I showed just before with one Nico Hines in that finals game last year, he went 54 against the Roosters in that finals game last year that they won as well. So he didn't do a whole lot. Base and power 44, just didn't really do a whole lot of other opportunities. I think Kennedy had an assist. I think it was a low-scoring game. I think Trindle had an assist in there as well. All right, last captaincy option for the week, Latrell Mitchell, fucking of course. Now, Latrell playing the Raiders this week at left center. I really struggle to get around captaining a left center unless it's Herbie, but even then, hasn't really been proved. Let's just go in the last 3 years. He's probably been fucking injured though. Wow. Really? 1 game against the Raiders in the last 3 years. That shows I'm injured for a 32 at fullback as well. That's a head scratcher. 2022? No? Wait, what the fuck? Has he seriously... Am I doing this wrong? Has he seriously played against the Raiders once in the last 6 years? I find that super surprising. Yeah, there you go, guys. Only one bit of data there. What I want to show you is against the Raiders left centers so far this year. Centers on the left. 5, well, kind of. 108 from Collar in round 1. 28 from Pompey, 76 from Crichton, 65 from Arrow. And then Knights last week had 2 as left centers. That's essentially 52 there. So probably an average of about the 60-ish range, which is not too bad. 1 ton from Collar. Could Latrell tear him apart? Yeah, I mean, he looked pretty good last week, right? But he still scored 2 tries, 101. 62.8 average last year from left centers against the Raiders last year. Had a 139 from Hammer. That was the baby Raiders. 103 from Kohler. 77 from McLean. 86 from Hiroti. What did the South left center do against them? Jackie White placed left center against them last year for a 34. They only played the Raiders once last year. What about in 2024? 60.7 average for the year. Rabbitohs was Damien Cook at left center. That made me chuckle. Shout out Brad Fittler in Origin for an average for a 47 in that one there. Okay, 2023 probably pushing it a bit now. 55.7 average. Isaiah Tass for a 119. Holy dooly. Okay, just trying to think who's the right center then. But the fact is, Simi Sasangi, you're coming up against who's pretty solid defensive center, right? That's a big reason why he's actually been selected there. So I would potentially be not captaining Latrell. Definitely a pot option. The other options there, we've got Payne Haas 1.2%. We've got Tommy Jenkins straight C at 1%. Brave, Drinky at 0.7, Dewey at 0.5, and then Dylan Edwards at 0.5% there as well. I think there's a couple pretty nice, obvious captaincy choices this week. The fact that Cleary is 20% C tonight, straight C, is scary. HIA could really flip the whole fucking week around after one game, but I think that'll do us, guys. I think that'll do us. Looking at boosting this week, we've looked at the top 10 trader in-out captaincy options with data there as well for your top 5 options. But let me know who you're going to trade this week, who you're captaining as well. Should I boost? What are you thinking about Kolomatangi? Let me know it down in the comments there. But that'll do it for me, guys. That has been the trade room for week 6, round 6, your preview. Good luck for this week. I fucking need it. That is for me. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And cheers.